do, YouTube? Your boy Playoff Don is back with another video. I hope everybody's enjoying this NBA season. I know I certainly am. There's been a lot of good basketball taking place, a lot of interesting subplots going on, new faces and new places, young guys breaking out. A couple priors have been changed. You know, some thoughts that I had in the preseason. You know, some previous takes might have to be updated. You know, and one team in particular that I just wasn't sure about, but I wanted to I was skeptical, but I could be talked into. You know, it's the Minnesota Timberwolves. The Timberwolves. They are the third seed, the number 3 seed in the West right now. They look for real. They look for real, and I gotta talk about them because, in my opinion, they're the story of the NBA right now. Because the way this is building for them, this looks like this could be something like legitimate in the Western Conference. And I don't mean fun playoff team, which is what they've been for the past couple seasons. That was the first step up from being horrendous and having top 5 picks every year. They become this, interesting playoff team with these two young cornerstones of their franchise. But, they go home in the first round as expected, But now, the way they look now, ain't too many teams looking more convincing than the Minnesota Timberwolves right now. They are they have the number 1 defensive rating in the NBA, if you guys weren't aware. They have a 101 defensive rating, which is really, really good. That's very good. Teams nowadays are scoring like 112 points on average per game. And Minnesota, on average, holds their opponents to 12 points less than that. It's pretty nuts. And it's not just the stats that looks like it. It's the eye test that backs it up too. These boys are giving NBA offenses a ton of problems. They've beaten some of the best teams in the NBA already. They've beaten the Boston Celtics, who everybody loves. That game went into overtime. And Boston only scored like 108 points or something like that. They got up in Boston. They got up in the defending champion Denver Nuggets, beat the brakes off the Nuggets. The first team of anybody to make Denver look kind of like stuck in the mud all season. Nobody's done that except Minnesota. And they just locked up the Golden State Warriors tonight. Stephen Curry went crazy because that's who he is. But the rest of the team couldn't really do much at the rim. And, they were just kind of like trying to find themselves in the game. And Minnesota is just like, no, you're just not doing anything. The eye test backs it up too. And this team look for real. They look for real. And they've been building up this roster for years with this vision. We see the vision now, and it was easy to be insanely critical. I don't know how it was of myself, because like I said, they were this fun team that could get hot and score points, like I said, with these two young stars like Cat and Edwards. But they were never a good defensive team. And that's why they brought Rudy Gobert in. They made that insane trade where they gave up 1 million first-round picks and took in his contract, which, his contract is what it is. And they put these two big guys together. They put these two 7-footers together with Cat and Gobert, and it's like, how are you gonna make this work? You know, what is the offense gonna look like with two bigs? That's the massive question. That's the literal big question, pun intended, with the Timberwolves. How do you make it work with these two bigs on both sides of the court? And offensively, it hasn't always looked great with Cat and Gobert out there. It hasn't. It's just not as easy for Cat to do everything that he's capable of when Rudy Gobert is sitting down low and he's taking up, a bunch of space and all that. Same thing with Ant driving into traffic a ton because Gobert's man is right there. And defensively was a question as well. Like, so you bring Gobert in, it's like, okay, well, what is Towns gonna do now? Is he gonna be defending on the perimeter now? He's too slow-footed for that. He can't do that. And all it took was buy-in. All it took was buy-in from these players. And defense, it's not easy to play, but it can be done. Good defense can be made happen. A lot of it takes skill and intelligence, but also a lot of it just takes willingness and effort and buy-in. And I'll be darned if Karl Anthony Towns is not buying in to playing real defense and guarding up on the perimeter, playing help defense on the inside. And he's really committed to not being a miserable defensive player anymore. He has. And it's not just him. It's these perimeter guys like Jaden McDaniels and Anthony Edwards. And shout out to Jaden McDaniels. He is one of the best perimeter defenders in the NBA. I don't remember if he made an All-NBA, like an All-Defensive team a year ago. I don't remember. I don't think he did. If he didn't, he should have. Because he was a menace a year ago. He's a menace again this year. And shout out to him because it's very commendable that a guy with his pedigree coming out of college and the offensive skills that he does legitimately have, for him to come into the league and just buy into being a role-playing defender and not getting that many offensive touches, really spotting up in the corner a lot and kind of just waiting to get your touches, every now and then you can kind of showcase your skills, but for the most part you're standing in the corner and you're clamping up defensively. For somebody with that pedigree to humble themselves and really just commit to a system and like buy into that, that's something a lot of players can't do, and McDaniels did it, and he's excelling at it, and he's a super winning player, so shout out to him. And like I said, Anthony Edwards as well. Anthony Edwards is on this legitimate superstar trajectory, but it's great to see that he is still more than willing, like he's still very willing to be a great perimeter defender as well when he wants to be. He still has, there's some moments that are still not the best, but when he is locked in, he is focused, he can absolutely like strap somebody down on the perimeter at the point of attack. And it's pretty scary what Edwards and McDaniels can do to opposing backcourts when those guys are locked in. You add that with Towns' buy-in and Gobert's rim protection, which is back. Rudy looks absolutely back. He looks like peak Rudy Gobert, the Rudy Gobert whose defense was carrying Utah to the postseason every year. That guy. You couple all that together and you get the best defensive rating in the league, and I'm not sure if that's going to hold up. We'll see. Like just a 101 defensive rating that's really like nuts. That statistic probably isn't gonna it's probably just not gonna stay the same just because it's a long season. Injuries happen, lineup changes, and all that stuff. But I just wonder. I just hope that this can be sustained. Um, because if it can be, if they can keep strapping up like this, locking up every single great team that they see, then this is a real legit team in the Western Conference, and they can beat. I don't know if I want to say anybody because Denver is Denver, but they got a great shot against almost everybody in the Western Conference, and then like I said, you couple that with that this superstar trajectory that I believe Anthony Edwards is on. Um, he's that's happening. It looks like that's happening as well. And if you got that superstar, you got that guy, that borderline top 10 guy, or even that solid top 10 guy, along with the elite defense and the key role guys and the second scoring option, the good coaching, this could be something. This could really, really be something in Minnesota. Because Anthony Edwards, man, he is such a joy, bro. He's the full package, the the full package. Like I said, he wants to buy in to being like a real two-way player, and he is closing these games for Minnesota. He did it again tonight against Golden State. You know, these possessions get tight. Ant-Man's just like, yeah, give me the ball. Give me the ball. Give me my switch. Turn around mid-range jumper, and they're going in at a crazy rate right now. Yeah, man. Edwards looks here, and the Timberwolves look here. And I'm interested to see how far can this go. Um, and I'm interested to know what y'all think in the comments as well. Is this just early season blimp? Do they still need to trade Cat? Is this Gobert contract still not going to work out for them? Let me know. Are they not deep enough? Or is this a contender, kind of wait in the wings here? They've been building this up for a minute, and is this the season that it finally culminates for the Wolves? Because that'd be pretty special, man. This team, they got real guys. But yeah, just let me know, because I think this team is mad fascinating. But yeah, let me know in the comments. If you're a Nuggets fan, are you worried? If you're a Mavericks fan, are you worried? If you're one of these ex-Twitter haters, are you worried that the Timberwolves might actually be good? Let me know. But I'm gonna be out for this one. Also, shout out to Mike Conley. Shout out to my guy, my love, Mike Conley. Love me some Mike Conley. So happy he's in a good situation again. That man is he's just a winning point guard. Shout out to him. But yeah, I'm gonna be out for this one. I will have more content coming out in the future, I promise. And I'm gonna be out for this one. But I just wanted to praise the T-Wolves a little bit. Yeah, this has been Playoff Don. Y'all take it easy tonight. Peace.